Wow, so I just wanted to get on here really quick and talk about the message that I heard today at a live church with Pastor Ken. He taught a message this week on faith and how to grow in faith. And it's so crazy because the past few Sundays that I've attended, or not even the past few Sundays, like honestly, since I've joined, I feel like a lot of the messages have spoken directly to things that I'm like dealing with and battling for in that moment. And it really just feels like, honestly, God just comforting me and letting me know that he sees me and he hears me. And so today he talked about 3 ways to practice your faith. And basically your faith is a muscle. So like if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. And some people exercise their faith more than others, so they have stronger faith. So really the key to growing your faith is going to be 3 things. Hearing the right things, listening to the word, reading the word, listening to people who speak of the word, who speak of good things, who tell you about the good news. And then he referenced Romans 10 and 17. The second way is going to be to meditate on your history with God. History will speak to future victories. And I love that I recorded our testimony of moving to Orlando, because I always have that to look back on and really see how God brought us through something that I could not see through at all with my human eyes, right? And there's been a lot of things in my life that I think God has brought me through, but none that I may have recorded to that extent. And so I was journaling in that time, I was recording in that time, I was sharing with you guys in that time, and I'm really so thankful to God that he put it on my heart to share that. And I would encourage you guys, especially if you're content creators or even if you aren't, but just as believers, to record, to journal, to make note of the things that God does and the people that he places in your life. And even the things like, I just went to brunch after church with 2 young women. She approached me in the gym because I had a live church shirt on, and she said, I go to a live church. We met up this Sunday, we sat next to each other, and then we went to lunch. She brings her sister, and her sister was a part of our Growth Track ministry, which is basically like a ministry that connects you with small groups so that you can serve in the capacity of the church, right? And I have been debating for a long time on wanting to get into a creative place in the church, but just kind of like doubting and kind of like taking my time and, you know, I have so much going on, and kind of putting it off, right? And so when we sat at lunch today, she said, oh girl, I can put you in contact with the people who are on the creative team, who are on the creative ministry. And that's, I'm trying to get experience in marketing, you know? And so what better place to be able to do that than the place that I worship? And so that was just profound alignment. And if you meditate on your history and you even pay attention to the things where God is sending you to be able to receive something or receive someone or a blessing, you'll start to see how everything is orchestrating and working in your favor as long as you're serving, right? And so the third thing that leads me to the third point that Pastor Ken talked about, he said, set yourself to receive and walk in the spirit of faith, 2 Corinthians 4:13. And with that, you sow the seed, and you have to know the enemy is going to try to steal that seed, right? So you have to protect that seed. You plant that seed, and then you set yourself to receive the blessing and the harvest that God has for you. And so you have to walk in the spirit of faith. And that blessed me so much too, because you know, you can't see the seed once you plant the seed. You know, it's, you're trusting and you're having faith that God is going to sprout that into something beautiful, into something fruitful. And so you have to know, you know, once that seed is planted of your faith and your belief, that God is going to bring it to fruition. And so today just touched me so much, because I've really been battling, you know, in the area of my faith. I've seen God do it before, but I'm like, oh my gosh, little old me, like, are you going to do it again, God, you know? And right now, just in all the transitions that I've had career-wise, I'm just waiting on the Lord. You know, I had a night last night, and I expressed to you guys, you know, after I didn't get the job, I kind of was feeling down, but God doesn't want us to sulk in that, right? And so I think I'm reading in 2 Samuel right now where he had gotten Bathsheba pregnant, I believe, in the first child. He received a word that the child was going to pass, or something was going to be wrong with the child. He prayed and fasted, and he begged God and pleaded to God. But once the child was gone, his servants were nervous to tell him, because they're like, oh my gosh, like if he was down and out, and you know, we were just thinking that the child was gonna be sick, now that the kid is passed on, what is he gonna do? And so he saw that they were sad, or he saw that they were I have to reference it, but he saw that they were like hesitant to tell him, or it was like really quiet or something like that. And so he said the child is gone. After that, he got up and he went to the church, and he started praising and worshiping God for what he was about to do. He ended up birthing life to a son who was blessed. And so that just lets me know, whatever is for you is for you. And you just have to have faith that God is going to see you through it. And if it's something that didn't come to pass, just know that God has a bigger vision, a bigger plan for you and for your life, and you just have to have faith. And so trust the journey. Trust the journey. But today's message really just blessed me, and I wanted to share that with you guys. Love you. Have a wonderful week. Bye.